Okay. Okay, I'll say should be back. Okay. I think it's working now. Yes.
We did it.
We're back. It was this
You did it.
weird internet glitch. Can't explain it. Don't know what happened. We're back. All right. Sorry, Bo. Yes, I was being summoned to the funeral, and so I'm coming. I'm going to come watch.
Okay, perfect. So Varel, Nash, and Lyriel, you're all outside. The bonfires have been lit. Varel's standing at the wharf. He doesn't seem to have anything prepared, but he does have a found like a small looking oil drum looking thing, and he's got like a stick on top of it, and he's got chunks in his hand, and he goes, "Make memories."
It's really forcing this.
I will go clean the kitchen. Have fun.
Wow. Squirts came to us in a time of need. We were desperate, lost in Sigil. And without her help, we would have never found the clowns. I salute her tricks. They were in good humor, and the only one ever hurt was a small child. Squirts, I did not intend for you to die that day. But though your people are prolific, we still hold you in great esteem in your birthing power for such a mighty child. May Chunks go on to inhabit your greatness. And may he never drop the ashes in his mind that he carries.
You hear sobbing.
Is that Bok Bok?
You look around for the source of sobbing, and Bok Bok, he's got chunks in his head. He's crying. Ain't she pretty?
I think Bok Bok may have had a thing going with the squirts there.
I would make wife.
It's very noble of you, Bok Bok.
And with that, he reaches into his loincloth. He puts Chunks down. He kind of drops him. And he reaches into his cloth and he pulls out a stick of dynamite. And he lights it. And he holds it up to the fire in solidarity.
Oh, great.
Bok Bok, sorry! Not fast enough! And then he takes the dynamite and he turns around and he throws it into the lake. And just as it reaches the highest part of the lake, it goes, and the houses on the cottage rattle intensely as pieces of shrapnel hit all around, but don't hurt any of you.
It's beautiful.
Bok Bok is curled up now, and he falls to his knees, and he goes, "Squirts! Squirts! Is he pretty?" And he sobs.
But that beauty lives on, Bok Bok. In chunks.
Yes! Bok Bok dead chunks!
Yeah.
Bok Bok no more Varel helper. Bok Bok man. Bok Bok father. Bok Bok take care of chunks. I don't ask. He waves his finger at you.
Very well. I won't. I am proud of you, Bok Bok. It's a very big step.
Come, Chunks, bedtime. And he walks to Chunks and takes him by the hand, and they walk in the house together. And you can see that, Chunks is getting onto one of the chairs because he's very small. And Bok Bok has found like a blanket and put it on top of him. Like he's mothering him very intensely. And then Bok Bok himself, finds a place to sleep and curls up. It is now just Nash and Varel at the fire.
Well, the hell of an esports manager. I'm going to bed.
Thank you for being here, Nash.
No problem. Squirts was a hell of a thing. All right, I'm off. I'm gonna go sleep, and then I'll go wherever my room. Do I know where my room is?
No.
Okay, I'll ask.
But Lyriel is in the kitchen.
Lyriel, where do I sleep?
Oh, one moment. Let me show you. And when you walked in, an invisible force was using a broom to sweep the kitchen as little birds are chirping and, marking pies with their feet, the crust, to give it a little decoration.
Oh,
And so she'll take off her apron and she'll have the mage hand that was using the broom to sweep, put the broom against the wall, and she'll lead you upstairs to your room.
Okay. And is it a room separate from the one the Angelashi and the kids are in, or is it with them?
It would be the same one, I think, unless Angelashi said...
Yeah,
what do you think Angelashi would have said?
Yeah, what's her take?
She's still mad at him? I don't know how...
Lyriel would have talked with Angelashi about how Angelashi lied as well, so it's not entirely on anyone.
Okay.
Okay, so the best thing would be to get them together, yeah?
Yeah. Well, if you're willing, Angelashi would like to see you. The kids would as well.
Okay. I'm good. I've cooled way down. I've eaten some really great food, and had a nice solemn moment about our former M Sports manager, so I'm good.
Okay.
I'll
So
go
you
in
enter
there.
into the room and you see there's a rather large bed. It's a beautiful cottage home. Just everything you can imagine that would make a cottage amazing but feel cottagey is present. And you see Angelashi there sitting in bed, holding the children. And she looks at you and she says, "Hello, my love."
I'm sorry. It's just hard. This is all new. I thought it was just me, you, and a baby, but now it's me, you, and 4 of them. Plus, you're different, and I guess I am too. And I'm just trying to get my head around it.
She reaches her arm out for you to take it,
Okay. I'll
and
take
then she guides you to sit down in the bed.
Okay.
She pulls you to sit down in the bed, and she says, "Nash, we live in, I think, what might be one of the worst places in the universe. And we're all just trying to get by. I'm not perfect, and neither are you. Please forgive me, and I'll forgive you."
Okay. I'm ready to forgive, but I'm also ready to understand. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know how you're so sure I'm a changeling. I don't know how to do it.
I don't know what you are. You're a human too. You're confusing to me. It's almost as if you were made. Do you know where you're from? I mean, I know you're from the solar mines. You never shut up about it. But do you have any early memories of parents?
No. As far as I know, I was always there. I was told I was orphaned. I don't believe them, but that's what they say.
I don't understand what you are either. But you have the same as me in you. Or else we wouldn't have these kids.
Is it possible that I don't know, some other magic?
I don't know that we have to figure it out right now.
Okay.
But maybe someone out there has answers for you.
Okay.
Maybe these elves have some way they can tell you. It seems so marvelous, this place. They have a place in a hostile environment where you can't breathe air, where they can breathe the air. And have you seen the trees?
Yeah.
Trees, Nash.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
There are trees outside. Oh, sorry. And she blows her voice because the kids are there.
No, it's real. It's nice. It's I've never seen anything like it. I've only seen
about this place.
I've only seen books and rumors. That's it.
You should ask them to help you. Maybe when they give us our therapists, you can ask the therapist, "What's up with you?"
Do you think
You
they
want to
can
do that?
Can they tell what's up with me? How do they
You
do
seem to
that?
know how to do a lot. Have you been on the rainbow thing?
No, maybe. Well, what's the rainbow thing?
The Rainbow Road.
Oh yeah. We rode that
How
over
do they
here.
do that?
I don't know.
Are you not the least bit curious?
I
Nash?
think it's just more. It's more magic. That's what they do here. They deal in magic.
There's something different about them. We're in a good place, Nash.
They seem pretty supportive.
Well, we don't have to solve it today, but there's something I want you to think about now. What are we naming these little guys?
Well, I've thought about it.
Two guys and two boys and two girls.
Okay, well, the baby that never changed into anything or from anything. What is that? A boy
There
or a
was
girl?
a baby already. It's a boy.
Okay. All right. I'll point at that one and go. This is Nash Jr.
Nope.
Uh,
Okay.
And then this one's Fork. This one's Boot. And this one's Pipe. We're going to name them after the objects that fired out of your hooter.
Are you sure we should? Are you sure we should do that? Do you think that
They're
that would
fun
be okay
names.
with them as they get older?
Yeah.
Maybe a nickname.
No, Fork Maggard. It's cool. Those are cool names. Nash Jr., Fork, Boot Maggard. Those are great names. Assuming you take my name, I guess you don't have to do that.
I don't have a last name. I don't know where I'm from. So we can call them Maggard. I don't know about Pipe, Fork, and Boot.
Well, that's fine. If you want to give them actual names, that's fine. I'll just call them that as fun little nicknames. It'll be like a dad, son, daughter thing. Come here, Fork, I'll say. Bring me the morning paper.
All right, can you make a persuasion roll, please?
Yes,
this
sir.
persuasion roll will determine whether or not Angela actually allows you to name them those things or
Okay.
not. So,
Okay.
it's an important role. Maybe the most important role you've made this entire time we played D&D.
It's one of my highest modifiers, so let's give it a shot.
Really? Persuasion?
Yeah, +8.
He's a charisma based class too. That's the weird dynamic with charisma because it's tied to magic and
Yeah.
Anyway,
Here we go. Oh, it didn't make a sound, but 28. Oh, wait, is that a D20? Yeah, nat 20 plus the 8.
are you shitting me?
I'm
Is
not
that real?
shitting you. I can send this to you.
You rolled a 20. Yeah, screenshot it, please.
I
It's
will
important.
right now.
I just said this was the most important roll, and you roll a 20 on it. I gotta see photo evidence.
Wow.
All right, I'm sending it right now. This never
Calling
happens
you
to
out,
me.
sir. Let's see the roll.
Never happens to me. Oh, ignore the +9. It's supposed to be +8, but I did the math right, so it's 28.
Okay. Yeah, I know you have a high charisma modifier.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an 8. I did a 9.
Did you
but-
send it in Disco?
Discord. Look at that. Look at the numbers on the other side. Rolling line. 1d20
Yeah,
plus 9
no.
total 20 plus
and
9.
it's even time stamped. Holy crap! So
Yeah.
it must be real.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your fantastic roll. And after a moment of silence, Angela actually looks to you, Nash, and she says, "You know what, Nash? I think you're right. I think those names make a lot of sense. Actually, I think it ties them to the history that we share together, and it will be a reminder of just how crazy our lives have been. And, if our children want to change their names, they're changelings. They can change them later. But we'll always call them by the names we love them as. Fork, Boot, Pipe, and Nash Jr. Maggard.
Awesome.
Congratulations. You have successfully named your children ridiculous things.
Great.
Is there anything else you'd like to do before turning in? All of a sudden, a wave of exhaustion hits you in that moment.
I'll say, oh, we've been through a day before we even got to you. So we're going to lay down. I'm going to lay down and sleep. Are you okay to, is she nursing all 4 of these kids and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a handful, dude. All right. Let me get a couple hours at least before you bug me or anything. But just, latch a couple of them onto a teat and
Don't worry, Nash. I'll take care of it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Sleep. I know you've had a hard day.
I mean, I don't want to shirk my husbandly, fatherly job here. I need the
There'll be
sleep.
plenty for you to do in the coming days.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Go ahead.
Good night, Fork. Good night, Boot. Good night, Pipe. And you too, Nash Jr. And I'll go to bed.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So that's 2 to bed. Varel. It's everyone to bed, actually, but Lyriel and Varel.
Does the cottage have a crawl space underneath it?
Indeed it does, actually. It sort of sits up. There's a bit of a dig out underneath it, and it sits up a bit. It doesn't have a basement or a foundation upon it, so there is space under the cottage.
Okay. Well, I'd first try to dig a hole, but being that the lake is right nearby, it would always fill with water, and that'd be very disappointing.
Yeah, you can tell that the earth is moist and damp. It's not dry sand.
Is it dry under the cottage?
Yeah, I mean, it's dry. It's a bit dewy, but, the earth will have a clumpy feeling, right? It won't have a sand feeling.
Okay. So, well, about 45 minutes in, I would enter the cottage looking for our elf host.
Okay, there she is in the kitchen.
She's setting up clothes for everyone for tomorrow because she's going to clean their old clothes and mend them. And she's humming a little tune to herself.
Pardon.
Yes?
I must express my disappointment.
Oh, I am so very sorry. Where have we failed you?
You have failed me not. My hopes that I would sleep in my own home, sleep in the sands of Earth.
Oh, yes. Well, though these plants are of Earth, I'm afraid there is no desert here.
Could we perhaps dump the bonfire and dry out a spot?
You're welcome to use the ash, yes.
Yeah, it'll do. I will have some of that stew of Nash, as mentioned, and then I will procure the bonfire pit for myself.
Oh, certainly. And then she will serve stew.
I eat the stew, and I go to bed curled in the bonfire pit.
Perfect.
Does it get day outside, or is it all like techno space sky?
No, it becomes nighttime. This place has a perfectly uniform day-night cycle, and so as the time has passed and we've done all that we've done here, it's beginning to be dusk, and the sun is beginning to go down.
Okay.
And you see the night sky is space, just like you'd know it on the planet, but it is crystal clear. There are no clouds. There are millions of stars. The landscape in the sky will become dotted with many, many stars.
Then I'm up a little too late staring at it.
And there's a lake nearby, but you can hear that there's a little brook, like of gurgling water, that's part of this cottage scenery as well. I don't know if that bothers you during your sleep or not.
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. That's everyone asleep. I think, Lyriel, is there anything you wanted to do before turning in?
Nope, she's just getting together their little clothes for tomorrow. And then maybe she's tiptoeing to everybody's room to make sure they're asleep. And if she sees any rips in their clothes, she'll use mending to clean it up. Maybe a little prestidigitation to clean everyone up, and just, sweet dreams.
Wow, they are so lucky to have you now. So you start cleaning everything up, and then you'll turn in after as well, or yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So with everyone turned in, you all have deep, deep sleeps. But Nash, in particular, your sleep it's going well, but at a certain point, you begin becoming lucid in your dreams. And you feel you have this vision of fire. There's flames licking all around. And you're standing in a vista of nothing but flames. You're not standing on ground, but you are standing on something invisible with flames looking out all around you. And a voice calls out to you. It's the flames. Nash.
What? Who is that?
It has been long since we spoke. I'm going to do the hood thing. It has been long since I felt you.
Make yourself known, or let me sleep.
I am close. I am dying. Find me. The flames flicker. Find me. And with that, your eyes dart open, and you're wide awake in your room in the middle of the night. And you see the babies. The babes are in their nursery beds. And Angelashi is, sleeping, spooning you, like, lying next to you, holding you. You're on your back, or on your face, whichever. But you are wide awake. Bing, in the middle of the night.
Does this deprive me of my long rest, or how's that going to affect me?
Yeah, you're still feeling rough. You're going to need to sleep. But the
Okay.
voice calls out to you again. It says, find me. And you can still hear the voice in spite of being wide awake.
Show yourself! Oh, shit! Show yourself!
Angela,
Do you hear that? I'll shake her. Do you hear it?
she goes back to sleep.
Shit.
Are you going to shake her?
A little bit. Just a little jostle on the shoulder there. Just,
Ash, what is it?
Do you hear that? Do you hear the voice?
I don't hear anything. I'm sleeping. She blinks her eyes, listens. I hear no voice but yours.
All right, go back to bed then. Sorry. I heard a voice.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
Can I do an Arcana check, see if there's something in the room?
You can.
All right. That's an 18.
All right. You consider what's happening to you and conclude the following. You're being engaged with on a telepathic level. The voice is reaching you telepathically. You're not sure the extent of this being's power and how far their telepathy can extend.
Uh-huh.
But you'd have to imagine in the majority of cases, telepathy is a finite range unless you're dealing with some great power like a god or something like that. So given that the person said that you're near and to go find them, you have a feeling that whatever's speaking to you is physically present somewhere in this forest, probably.
All right, I'm going to quietly get up. Oh, this is a bad idea, though. I'm going to try to go back to sleep
Okay.
for now and just think this is just the exhaustion doing weird stuff to me in dreams.
All right. You go back to sleep. Everyone benefit from a long rest.
Me included?
Yep. You fall back asleep quite easily.
Wow.
And you now benefit from a long rest, everyone. The rest, however, will have to last a little longer than 8 hours. Remember that you are at 4 levels of exhaustion. So a rest would bring you to exhaustion level 3.
How many of us had that? Not everybody, right?
Yeah.
We all did?
No, just you and me.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. So you're at with your long rest. It'll put you at exhaustion level 3. But now's a good time to talk about a little more long-term goals. So, Elhandar represents an opportunity to take an extended rest in the story. So we can choose to continue on with the day the next day, or we can choose to discuss a more long-term resting point. Now, I know you guys still have questions and things you want to answer, so it doesn't have to be that long of a resting period. It can be 4 days, it could be a week, or you can decide to spend some months here. I really leave it to you guys, but this would, if we had a year 1 that ended year 2 in Tiet Kala, with Hope ascending to the reign of this of Tiet Kala, that beginning point from Tiet Kala to the rest here in Elhandar would represent a natural breaking point for our story as we transition from, quote, year 2 into year 3. So, I'd turn it over to you guys and get a sense of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to maybe do a rest and check in with the villains and make sure there's not going to be an interference there, or?
So I don't know that we have enough time to do any of it. I don't think this would be the last episode in the arc because I have a bit more planned, and we have 30 minutes today. So if there's anything that you'd like to get done as well, we can do that today. But generally speaking, I wanted to bring up the subject now because that might impact your behavior and decision making with NPCs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So this would be an opportunity to have a longer rest, and the benefits of a longer rest might be the procurement of magic items, or having people forge things for you, or researching or studying. There are therapists and technologies here that you might be able to benefit from for personal improvement in some way. I mention it because this is an opportunity for some child rearing for Nash, for example, and for any other longer term explorations. If it's 3 months, 6 months, if it's a period of time, we can pick up the story right from that point pretty seamlessly. So yeah,
Nash would, if that's the case, Nash would spend like a good couple months here. Because there's, help them with the kids. They're tiny. There's a lot to do for that. A lot of diapers and bullshit. Like, I would totally, if the conversation between all the characters has happened, I would have voted for we stay here a while. We're safe here. It's nice, they're treating us well.
Maybe you can have that conversation and you can discuss it in character as well. I just wanted to really communicate that to everyone now. So, let's see.
Varel, Stanley, I think we should stay for 2 months.
All right. It's the next morning, apparently. We're going. Okay, so everyone.
Wait, what is exhaustion 3? Like, does he like slither down the stairs?
Exhaustion 3. I need to get my DM screen. I believe one is hang on, exhaustion levels. I forget now.
I had this pulled up yesterday.
Yeah, 1 is disadvantage on ability checks, 2 is speed halved, 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and 4 is hit point maximum halved. So you're now at exhaustion level 3, so you're in no shape to be fighting for sure.
Okay, but still mobile and able to speak, just not good at anything.
Yeah, I mean, what we could do here is we could say 4 days goes by, so at least you clear off all your exhaustion levels. And, it could be like that part in, Marvel movie where the heroes are in a place where they're resting for a bit and a bit of time goes by. So we can let 4 days go by, and we could pick up the conversation from the party there if you guys want to have a council meeting to discuss what to do about all the problems that are surrounding you after a long rest, right? Does that sound good?
Did they? I mean, did they mostly leave us alone for those 4 days? We didn't have
Yeah,
people
the
checking
elves are
in or anything.
no. The elves, like your sense from the elves and your experience with them, and we'll even say over the 4 days, is that they're they have this weird ability to value freedom and yet seem like they're all this unity, that the sum is greater than the whole. The sum is greater than the parts that make up it. So it seems that through a combination of therapy and exercise is the space station lifestyle regimen, that and elves being the way elves are as well, they're very conscientious of nature and harmony, that they are living in this science fiction way, but are still fundamentally elves. And while they might not necessarily be good, they have a purpose, and their decisions and lifestyle appears to make them as best able to handle that purpose as they possibly can. And that's why they've adopted a lot of earth technologies and things like the therapy stuff. These were inventions of humans, but they've combined that in with their elvish predisposition. So let's say you guys have gathered that, or Lyriel has explained that on some level to you during those 4 days, and we can begin on day 4. Breakfast.
Yeah, if there was hunting available,
So-
Yes.
so I would have done that with my healthy 4 days of non-drug induced trauma.
Okay, so during the 4 days, Varel, you would have explored nature around and hunted, and you found that this is indeed an expansive forest that seems a lot larger on the inside than it does on the outside. You've been exploring new territory and finding all kinds of interesting things. Yeah. Okay, so at what point do you want to pick up the conversation? Maybe you want to talk about hope or whatever it is you want to accomplish here. What is it, dinner? Do you guys have a ritual where you're all meeting, or are you very much just individual?
I think Nash's call for conversation on breakfast on the 5th day is good.
Yeah.
Okay. And you keep letting Lyriel make breakfast, or is anyone helping?
Lyriel won't let them.
Oh.
She has breakfast ready every morning at the same time.
Hmm.
Eggs, bread, ham, croissants, if anybody wants. Coffee, juice, milk. You name it, she's got it.
Wow. So you guys have been treated like kings for the past 4 days by Lyriel as well. I don't think you've known what seems like a tenderness to the care she's given you guys before. So it's breakfast. It's day 5. Your exhaustion's cleared. Angela, she's downstairs with the 4 kids.
How has Bok fared as father?
Bok has surprisingly taken his role seriously. Everything he does is dubious and questionable, but nothing that's caused you to want to intercede. I mean, at one point, he was educating Chunks on dynamite, but he didn't have any more dynamite left, so he was just he had a chalkboard, not a chalkboard, but he made a diagram in the sand with a stick and explained how blowy works. They've just been kind of like Bok's not a kid, but they're kind of like 2 kids that just hang out and take care of themselves and go to the kitchen and grab whatever, and they're just around and they seem fine.
Does
Cool.
Bok only have one hand?
No, he has 2, I think.
I thought he blew a hand off out inside the creature. Did I remember that wrong?
I don't remember it. That might have happened. Sometimes I don't remember little details that are really impactful, but that I just make up on the spot, like that. I'm sure that happens. I can't tell you when and where that's happened, but it's definitely happened. But he seems to have recovered. He's fine.
He grew back.
He grew his hand back. He's fine.
Yeah, just
Did it blow off? Is that real?
I have
I
a
don't
weird
know.
memory about that too. But
I remember his hand getting blown off, but that could just
He
be
definitely
me.
was it definitely exploded inside the General Carthax with the dynamite. So he's definitely massively injured from that. But the elves have sciencey healing stuff. He probably got some assistance at some point.
All right. Just
Yeah, they're good.
just curious about Bok. Just Bok things.
yeah.
No, they're
Bok
just,
bok
it's
stuff.
like you're at the cottage and you have the kids and you don't even have to pay attention to them. They're just doing shit. You're like, whatever. That's pretty much the situation with those 2.
So if I was able to hunt, was it like earth creatures and whatnot?
Wildlife. So the kinds of fauna that you would come across would be things like their deer. It's kind of, I know I described it as jungly air, but it's definitely like a pinewood forest. So think of all the great American and Canadian wildlife you might find: lynxes, wildcats. But everything here is larger. So you know, a lot of the cats, for example, are much larger in this forest than you would find them in our real life. So the things you've been able to locate are felines. There are deer. You know, there are bears, but you haven't encountered one yet. And other creatures you can't imagine. I mean, would you know what a bear was?
Yeah, I
Please
thought a
kill the
bear. Yeah, my bear mate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you definitely know there are bears in this forest. There are you've seen large cats. You've hunted the deer.
Well then,
I don't know. I don't know if you've hunted the deer. I don't want to presume. But
yeah, no. As they awaken on the fifth day, strewn about the front of the cottage, predator style, hanging by ropes, is a deer, a black-footed ferret, several ducks, and then a rather revered, oversized raccoon that has a place of honor.
Wait, is the raccoon dead or is it?
Oh yeah, it's dead. Yeah,
okay.
it's dead. But while the other ones are more hanging in mass, this one is splayed by the hands. Head limp.
Lyriel, is this allowed? I mean, the elves are allowed to hunt and to do all these things. I just want to make sure if he says anything that seems like you'd intervene, let him know.
Oh my! Let me clean these for breakfast, yes?
The meat, yes, that'd be delightful. This one, though, deserves to be stuffed and placed in a high order. It was a mother, and it fought hard.
I will do that for you then. And Lyria will start bringing the animals into the kitchen, but she'll save the raccoon for last.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so Lyriel's preparing breakfast, and Angelashi and the kids are there. Varel, you're there. Nash and Stanley, you arise for the morning, and the day is underway.
I feel like this is the first day I've actually felt good in the past 4 days. Those pills were awful.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Finally feeling better, and this, I gotta say, Varel, this raccoon is tasty.
Lyriel would not have prepared the raccoon.
So Nash, either you're eating it raw, or
Okay, I'm down with
it
that.
just didn't
A
happen.
little raw raccoon, no problem.
Or he just thinks he's eating a raccoon.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah. I think that's most likely.
There are unidentified meats on the table.
Okay. So what now? I think we hang out here. It's nice. Give us some time. Let my changeling wife heal some, and these kids make sure they're healthy and good and all that. I don't think she's ready for me to leave right away.
I mean, is there anything pressing that anybody feels they need to do?
How about you, Varel? You've been pretty happy just killing stuff and hanging it up on the wall and gutting it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure, it's brought me joy. However, the greater quest is still upon us. And we've been in a number of dimensions that haven't exactly passed time normally. I fear for both of your souls.
Right, the whole principle thing.
Yes, the whole principle thing.
Well,
along with the
I
deal
mean,
you made with the Demon Lord.
Yes, the deal we made with the Demon Lord. I get that, but I mean, you've seen the principle. You saw what he did, what he appeared as. I'm not sure that's something we're able to fight right now.
He got big. We've been inside a giant frog. We can take him. If he gets too big, we'll beat up his eardrums and enter through his various crevices and defeat him thusly.
I mean, he destroyed an entire city, if he's to be believed.
He blew up his own city, seeking godhood. He's a fool.
Well, you're not wrong there.
I fear, and I have thought long and hard about this. Gentlemen, I fear that we lack the motivation to save your souls.
Well, that could be true. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to even make it this far. I didn't make it this far. It's only thanks to you that I'm even still on this path, so...
I just know for me to leave right now would make me a deadbeat Nash.
What?
That'd be bad. I just mean whatever we do, principal is a looming threat. There's all sorts of stuff to deal with, but if I leave, I don't know what that makes me. Fork Pipe, Boot, and Nash are all, just hanging on by a couple of bags of milk. That's all they have. I mean, if they stay here, they'll have some rearing and some other people to help and that sort of thing, and maybe I could leave after a while, but I can't go right away.
I mean, I would still like to see the principal stopped. His appearance, if anything, tells us that he needs to be stopped. He's not going to cease his desire to grow in power. He clearly knows where we are. We do need to defeat him, though I feel Varel's perhaps jumping the gun a bit on how ready we might be to fight him.
I feel our quest has become selfish. Without the people of Tikala, without hope, we're simply looking to save your own hides.
True. But do you think this all-powerful version of the principal truly has the best interests of our planet in mind?
One could say we have transcended the planet. Razak Val is no longer in existence. I am no longer Fang, or at least I am Fang of nothing. So who are we to save? Who? Ourselves?
Could be. I mean, where do you intend to retire to? He's clearly interested in this place, El Handar. I don't think we're necessarily safe forever here. Where do we go?
You could always wait for someone to save you as well. She brings out more coffee.
The heroes be saved.
Yeah, typically we're the ones doing the saving. With
I've been saved plenty of times. So I just assumed you wait around.
we tend to be a little more proactive than that.
Right. It doesn't always go the best, but we do very little waiting, which is
Right.
good.
We've definitely landed on a strategy of the wrong action is better than no action.
But together, we do the wrong action and transform it into a victory of sorts.
Oh, a victory of sorts? So, full victory? No victory? Some victory?
It's debatable how well we've done.
Right, but we've always lived. Mostly.
Oh, that's important, yes.
I've never
For the
died.
times we didn't.
I haven't died. Wait. Nash, have you died?
Depends on your definition.
You are a heart.
Yeah. That's
But you
the only
didn't die.
That heart's the only reason I'm alive twice. Like the first time I got it, that kills most people. Somehow I lived, and then floating around is just a heart I lived.
And Stanley, he's from the mere clown dimension.
Oh, Very interesting. I was Seafoam once.
Right. I'm not sure you're adding to the conversation.
Wait,
Oh,
hold
you
on.
apologize. I've been alone for quite some time.
You were Seafoam?
Oh, yes, it was quite the story. You see, there was this prince, and he didn't know I existed. I sold my voice. It was very interesting, very painful. I got feet. It was a thing. I was a mermaid, too, you know.
Don't understand.
I was just talking.
This is great.
The foam made of feet?
Were
Oh,
you a
well,
mermaid before you were Seafoam, or were you Seafoam and then a mermaid?
Yes, you see, I've been through so much, but this one happened. I was trying out being a mermaid for a little, and there was a prince. He was a human, so I sold my soul to a sea witch. It was great, but she gave me feet, and it hurt to walk quite a bit. He ended up choosing someone else, though, so I turned into sea foam for a while.
And
That's a pretty raw deal. I guess. Sorry, I suppose.
did this?
Oh, no, sorry.
How did you stop being Seafoam?
The prayers of children, actually. Enough were said by the little elves, and I came back.
Do your feet still hurt?
Oh, no, not anymore.
Good. So,
Anyway, just continues to eat breakfast quietly. Well, that is a thing that happened to you then.
Everyone dies.
Varel, I think my main concern is that we seem to have the potential for a lot of allies against the principal. But these elves are very pacifist. I don't think it's going to work. At least not without an internal restructuring. Are you suggesting that you think just us go up against him? The three of us, or four if we bring Seafoam, and
Did you just call her Seafoam?
yes.
Well, maybe he could be talked to.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Varel. They have a very let's talk about it mentality, and
Oh, yes.
I don't see the principle being a let's just talk it through.
there are still people caught in the cogs on Earth who deserve saving. We do not understand the relationship between your soul master and the principal, nor, at least to my understanding, the dragons in that regard. We need to figure out what's going on. Which side we're backing. Why? Otherwise, we may as well live out our days in this beautiful cottage, hunting the various life.
I mean, we don't even know how much longer we have until time's up on the deal. Unfortunately, our method of getting to speak to Kotobal Praith, I think, got blasted to oblivion with that laser.
Oh, good point. What do you think, Nash?
I think that none of this matters if I don't do my duty and stay here. If you guys leave, that's up to you, but I can't do anything. You understand? Imagine you had a whole bunch of eggs or whatever you guys do, the lizard people. Well, how do you have babies? What do you do?
Get eggs, yes.
Okay, so you got a bunch of eggs, and what if you fertilize those eggs? Or do you guys? Are you guys?
No, it goes first. The first. We're not spiders, Nash.
But once you've done your part, are you done and you can just leave, or do you hang around and support and all that?
What's to support?
The rearing of these children.
Rear themselves, they walk within an hour, or they are perhaps feasted upon. It doesn't matter exactly.
All right. So this is a bad example, and I was afraid of that. So in humankind and also changeling kind, we don't do that. We raise them and protect them and help them grow. Them getting eaten is not just something we're cool with. So it's hard to explain, but I think it's just part of who I am. I can't leave. I already did this kind of once when she was pregnant and felt bad about leaving then. I can't just pick up and go. Even when the reasons are good, and they are.
Well, we haven't heard from anybody in the past couple of days, and apparently these elves have more to tell us. I know the high elf in the chair wanted to share information with me. We haven't seen any more of him. Wouldn't hurt to at least spend some time gathering information, finding out what we can, what they know. Might put our course a little clearer.
See, there's no harm in that, and we can plan better. You know, I know time isn't holding still here, but I just think we could use the time.
Time.
Yeah.
I know a place where your children could have as much Nash as they would ever desire.
Where? Don't say the time bar. If we're not going there.
It's got a wall made of you.
I know.
The wall could be a father figure.
No, that's
plus
bad.
Anybody else who shows up.
That's bad.
Then you would be free to quest.
No, your eggs are... Well, actually, this isn't a bad idea if we can get them convinced.
Yeah.
We'd have to do some convincing. If we could convince Walnash to actually take the responsibility, then maybe she would go along with it.
Who's to say that's the only one there? There could be desert, all three desert Nashes, maybe Blob Nash.
All right, it's worth exploring.
Egg Nash, that was a different one. The Egg Nash,
right? I don't know where any of these Nashes are, though. They just came to me. I don't know how to go to them.
They have a house, right?
You have a way to get back to the planet, Nash.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, but I guess the giant head Nash could. I'd have to convince Angelashi to make this work.
I mean, look around, Nash. Right now, it doesn't get more idyllic than this. They are in a good environment with people that care about them. I'm sure we can figure out a way to make it so you can travel back here, if need be.
Yeah, don't forget about teleportation circles.
Yeah.
You can anytime go to Planet Nash. You don't know if there's one here, but...
Well, I could make one here. Right?
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to make a permanent circle of your own,
Yeah.
you might be able to do that. I think it might take you some time to plan and make one that's appropriate. Maybe about a day.
I think it takes a year to make a permanent one.
Oh, that's right. There is rules in there.
To
that
make a
talks about
permanent
it.
one is a year?
Yeah, it requires magical layering, and it's work to create a permanent teleportation vector in the universe.
Okay,
You
but
do
what?
it anywhere easily. There'd be teleportation circles everywhere.
Well, right, but is it What? How long do the temporary ones last? I'm asking you guys. I have it right here. Hold on.
So when you cast teleportation circle, you're going to a permanent circle. You don't just go anywhere. You go to a circle you know of. So you can write it on chalk really quick, but it's not permanent. Once you can, it's one way. You can't come back when you use it that way.
Okay.
So to create a permanent one that you can come back to requires the time. I believe John's right that it's a year to create a permanent circle.
Not only a year, but you have to cast it every day of that year.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. Again, you can discuss it with the party if you want to take a year.
They're not going to let me do a year. No way.
It's not impossible. We might. We gotta find out how much time we have with Kotobal Praith.
We'll burn a lot of time for sure.
So we've already killed.
The longest.
Was it a full year that we skipped earlier, or was it?
You're at about since the start of the campaign. I mean, I haven't been keeping diligent track. There was definitely a 3-month period and some days there. You're probably close to a year down at this point in game time.
I just meant the time skip. Did we skip a full year? Or was it 6 months? Or I don't remember how far we skipped for that period.
When I got married and everything.
Was that a whole?
Oh, that
year?
was a 3-month. That was a 3-month period.
Okay.
Okay, just 3 months. Yeah, I think I got confused because we kept calling it year 1 and year 2. But
yeah, it's a year in the actual real meat space, not the game time.
Meat space. Yeah. I don't remember how much time we said we'd do it in.
1,000 days, right?
It was 1,000 days.
Yeah.
So
that gives you 3 years at least.
Yeah.
About 3 years.
But that's also assuming there was no weird time trickery with any of the places we visited, which I think there was.
There was time trickery with your visit to the Weir. There's kind of time trickery with this whole sigil and the outer planes, but really it's not intended on my part. There might just be a little bit of that for dramatic effect and all that, but there hasn't been anything really, you're not 5 years into the future or anything like that. It's pretty much feels pretty one-to-one. And we're like, I might not have lined up timelines correctly. That's just more error of the DM than it is intended time mechanics.
Well, we're not doing a year. So then, okay. I'll talk to Angelashi, see if she's willing to stay here while we go take care of the inevitable.
I'm right here, Nash. I can hear you speaking.
Shit. Sorry. Hello, honey. Was she really there the whole... I thought did she go to breakfast with us or something?
I opened the description with Angelashi downstairs with the kids.
I missed that part.
Twice. It's okay.
All right. Well, then I'll, let's talk about it. What do you think about me? Can you handle things while I go do my duty?
I'll be honest with you, Nash, that I would prefer if you hung up your adventuring life and I don't know, maybe we could stay here. But I know that's not you. So I want you to do what you feel is right in your heart, and I think maybe perhaps with all that you've told me about the adventures you've been on, I couldn't hold you back here knowing that the universe is in peril and you need to be a part of that.
And his soul will be eaten by the demons too.
Yeah.
If that really happened, then it sounds like you need to take care of that so that you can be here for Pipe and Boot and Fork and Nash Jr. and not in some hellscape because you felt too guilty to leave me.
Can you make teleportation circles? Just curious. Do you know how to do that?
I've not done that before, but
if I'm gone for a year, you could build one that would be like I could teleport back to it and it'd be permanent.
I've been trained in the arcane arts. I know some things. So if you teach me the spell, what do you want me to do?
You got to do it every day, and then it becomes permanent. Assuming we want one here, but it would make it a lot. Except it'll take a year.
Okay.
And maybe I'll
None
still
of this sounds bad. Casting a spell is one of the easiest things to do.
Right.
Say some words and wave your hands and channel the energies into something.
Well, you know, it's
wasn't
not
there before.
quite that easy, but sure.
I'd gladly do that than have 4 more kids, Nash.
All right, so
Look,
then
I mean, we can also find out if the elves have a method of getting back home. This may be entirely unnecessary, this level of planning you're doing right now, Nash.
Yes, don't the elves have a teleportation circle? Have you asked them?
no, I guess we could do that.
This facility is incredible. They must have one.
Dr. Person, what's the status of a teleportation circle here? Do you guys have a permanent one?
Oh, we have many things. We can check to find out where one is, though.
Okay. I mean, do you think that's probable here that you probably have one?
So just to help you, because I know you want to answer just in character, but
Yeah.
the Cagulate,
Yeah.
Cagulate is an area of science and magic, and there is a permanent teleportation circle there that you're
Okay.
aware of. Not talking to you.
Oh, you're not talking to me.
I'm telling Lyriel.
All right. Just thinking here.
Yes, we do have a permanent one.
Oh, well, shit, then let's go. Well, you know what, Angelashi, never mind. You don't have to do anything. We're just going to... I'll come and go as needed, and we'll use their teleportation circle, and you'll be safe here.
We're not ready to go. We're still planning.
No, I know, but I'm just, now I can be all in on the planning and not pussyfooting around about whether I should stay or not.
Maybe he's making up for last time where he didn't say goodbye at all, except as an afterthought. Now he's just really preemptively saying goodbye.
I mean, he's not wrong. I hate it when Stanley's not wrong. So, yeah. So it's fine. Just, we have this thing. We'll come here as needed.
If there's permanent teleportation circle here, honey, what if you went out on your adventures during the day and came back home at night using the teleportation circle?
Well,
Then you can.
It depends on what I have on the other end and how much juice I've got.
But if you're going to this Planet Nash place, that sounds awful. You could go there, and then when you're done work, you can come back home.
No, that's
and
true.
If you have to be away for an extended time, I'll understand. The universe is in peril.
Okay.
But at least you can spend time with your kids.
Yeah, I don't want them to wonder who I am.
me.
I don't want them to not recognize me. So
Okay.
we can send something to each other?
Well, if you'll pardon me, it seems like you all are lacking a quest. Adventuring is great and all, but why?
I agree.
That is a good point. We need to decide what it is we're actually trying to accomplish. Vorel, you're not wrong. The quest to defeat the principal has become selfish. We've already lost everything we were fighting for the most part. If it's simply a matter of finding out if there's a way to get out of our deal with Kotobel Praith, maybe that's the more logical way to look into it. Find out if there's a way we can get out of that.
As a DM, before you respond, I also like to make a suggestion in case it's been forgotten. But your friend, Hope, has fallen into darkness. And, that might also be a thing. Just a reminder. Carry on.
Well, what do your hearts say?
Yes, Vorel, what does your heart say?
I don't know who the principal is. I don't know what he wants.
That's
I don't know if
very
he feeds
interesting.
everyone in the city every day. I don't know if he uses his big feet to make small pools for the children to play in. We are trying to save a world we don't understand. And Hope gave us purpose. Tiet Kala gave us a place, a people to service. Same with Razak Val, though it fell quickly following the eating of Orp.
Well, and Tiet Kala is also gone now.
Yes.
So is Principal City and Dust Hill, and who knows if they ever actually rebuilt Slave Town after it was burnt to the ground by someone. I
That was
don't know
Nash.
what's
Did he ever tell you that story?
That is my fault.
Really, Nash?
Yeah. It's fine. It's a long story. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure you had a good reason, honey.
I did.
He didn't.
I did. I absolutely did.
He basically got high on drugs and decided to burn the town
It
down.
wasn't my fault, though.
I helped.
Yeah. We all had a part in that. That didn't just happen.
That town sucked.
Yes.
I was unconscious for a large chunk of it, or I
Were
would have
you?
stopped you. Yeah, I got shot by a guy for trying to get my sword back.
Oh,
He
right.
killed- yeah.
Yeah, at the shop there. Simpler times, really.
And what quest was that for?
But that was for the mine. Because it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to get a deed.
Yeah, that was
Because-
to get the deed for a mine. We never got the deed.
No, but we killed the guy who owned the deed.
Have
We-
you adventurers ever completed a quest? Ever?
Yes! We defeated Dolapopio.
yeah. We
And then
a frog.
half of us died.
A frog hemoth.
But we did win.
That was part of the...
It was a subquest, but still, we
Yes,
accomplished.
Hope on the Throne.
Yeah.
Yes, and even though the city got destroyed later, we still did it for a period of a couple months.
Good months.
Those are great months.
Some of the best months they ever had.
So yeah, we're good. We'll get this.
So you're lost, is what you're saying.
Well... maybe. If you consider being very powerful and doing things lost. Because we destroy a lot of evil.
Yeah,
We're very
But
good
is
at it.
that your purpose?
pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, there are enemies in need of defeating, and they become defeated by our hands.
So the next quest should be to defeat an enemy.
Sure, yes, that's an excellent place to begin. We should find a people in need, and enemies to defeat.
All right. Who do you have in mind there, Varel?
Well, did everyone die on Earth?
I mean, I think ultimately it comes down to we need more information. What is the
Yes.
principal doing? Is he actually bad? Can this deal with Dolapopio be broken some other way and buy us more time? Is it worth pursuing that route? And do we want to figure out what happened with Hope?
Well, she's fine.
Is she?
She nodded slowly at me when cutting off her own hand and went through a portal and
Is
was into
she
it.
fine, or is she the reason Tiakala fell? She disappeared with the very same demons we then fought when we went to that town. For all we know, she turned completely evil and destroyed the city that she was leading before.
I don't like that narrative.
Well, neither do I. I thought better of her, but she betrayed every single one of us, so what are you going to do?
We could find Hope and then make her help us fight the principal.
A good plan. I think that makes a lot of sense, Pharrell, says Angelashi.
Right? Because then
Yeah.
Hope...
Assuming she's willing. I don't know if she's willing.
She potentially wiped out her own entire city. You really think she's going to say, yes, let's go fight the principal?
Well, Nash wiped out a whole town, and he's fighting the principal.
So get her stoned, is what you're saying.
There's a
Good.
difference between burning down a city and killing everybody in it.
That's true.
We should talk with that strange man.
The High Elf?
Oh.
No, the one we found in a book. He's
Oh.
supposed to be here.
Nobiary.
Yes.
That's true.
We should
Where
meet with
is he?
Nobiary.
And just like that, you hear at the front door.
Yes, one moment. And Lyriel will gracefully saunter over to open the door.
Okay, you open the door, and Nobiary is standing in the doorway.
That's just creepy.
His tiefling body, old and crunched. He says, "Hello. May I enter?"
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Let me set another place at the table.
Very good. And very solemnly and quietly, Riddle Nobiary enters slowly into the cottage. And he looks at the three of you. And he says, "You were saying..."
Do you have a little bell that goes off if you hear your name? How did you know we were talking about you?
"I am always where I need to be. That is what being a dead tongue is about."
All right, well, that's extremely creepy, but I guess good you're here. We can ask you. Do you have any idea, any information on what happened in Tiakala?
Yes. He takes a deep breath and he goes, After you left for Razak Val, we let some time go by and we let hope go upon her adventures, knowing that she'd return, probably. But when the desert to the north, where it becomes purple, exploded in light throughout the sky, Melgor could wait no longer. He assembled a hunting party, and we went out to follow you to Razak Val, and there we saw a civilization brought to its knees by chicken lords. And we were not the only ones who came there. These elves of El Andar came due to the same explosion we had seen. And we joined forces to find you. We were unable, Vorel, to recover Razak Val, but we did find your friend Omnom Cinderborn, a great warrior of your people. He is aboard now, recovering. You should seek him out. We continued on to the desert of Purple, and we found what you had found, a place called Kervelon. But as we began exploring the depths of this place, very dangerous, following you, we received word that our home was under attack, and we left the elves to finish exploring this human site of misery, and we rushed back as quickly as we could to Tiatkala. But like you, we were too late to do anything about it. And now I ask you, Why did these demons attack Tiet Kala?
That's what we were hoping to find out. We went on an adventure of our own, found ourselves fighting in a different plane. And during the fight, we were facing an army of demons. And Hope, during the fight, severed her own arm and affixed a strange artifact to it. It changed her. She looked different, otherworldly, dark.
Where was this?
Some tower.
Below. Where did you go? Was this beneath Kervalon?
No, a different plane of existence altogether.
You've traveled the plains.
Yes. Anyway, the demons immediately stopped their attack once she did this. She seemed to be able to control them.
Did you learn any of their names? These demons, and he takes out a tome, dusty. It's dusty from even being his bag. He blows a bit of dust off and he opens it up and he begins leafing through his book while you talk.
Did I learn any of the names during that? I don't think
Well, what
I
names
did.
do you know? He's just at what demon names?
Wasn't there General Carthax?
Yeah, but I don't know if I ever heard it, is the thing. I know I heard it in the game. I don't know if Stanley ever heard it.
You might have heard it, at least in the elfin battle leading up to it, perhaps.
General Carthax is a name I heard at some point.
General? What kind of mockery is a demon with a general title on it?
Anyway, Hope disappeared with a whole bunch of these demons, left us there. And we haven't seen her since, but the very same type of demons that were attacking Tiakala are the same demons that were there that day.
I'm sorry, Stanley, but my heart, it's breaking. She was to be the hope for our people, to guide us to prosperity. And now there are only a handful of us left aboard a space station that is not our own.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. Whole reason I got into this and had any sort of, ironically, hope that things could turn around was the fact that I didn't get her. She seemed so optimistic despite the world we were in. One of the only people I've ever met like that. You find people that are, they put on a front, they make the best of what they have, but Hope genuinely seemed to care, genuinely seemed to have compassion, and I don't know, what she turned into something far different.
These evils, Stanley, are within all of us. And sometimes we fall. But we are never beyond redemption. I know many mortals, including myself, have difficulty getting past feelings of vengeance and hurt. When the world is painful to us, it is natural to want to react with even greater force. But this direction ends only until there is a single victor, and creation and the gods beat mortals all of the time. We must learn our place in the universe. Hope has taken on much more than she can possibly imagine. I don't know what this hand is that you speak of, but I must go and consult with the spirits and figure out some answers. I'm staying with the rest of the tieflings on the other side of the clearing. If at any time you wish to visit us, you can. Stanley, you might wish to know that Emmanuel has asked after you. She was in the
She's
search
alive.
pod. Yes, and I know that the two of you bonded in prayer with the fish bird. She has asked after you, but has been shy to see you with all that's occurred. I invite you to come see her at some point and help her. She is suffering, as we all are. And Riddle gets up and he looks to you and he says, I know this is a moment of despair for all of us, but we will find our way to glory. And then he turns around, his old frame, walks towards the door and opens it. And he looks back again to you, Vorel, and he says, You, Vorel, have hid yourself in shadows for too long. Be the leader you were born to be. And he turns around and he exits the cottage. And maybe on that note, we can exit the show. That's it for this week, folks, on There Will Be Dungeons!
Oh my gosh.